Hello everyone and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Oh boy. What was I going to say about this other than I'm bad at math? I don't know if that's even true anymore. When was the last time I had to do an actual math equation? Is this math or physics? I don't know. Both? Okay, so I've watched a little bit of this. I've watched YouTubers, streamers. I've seen them play this game, but it's been mostly background noise. I haven't intently watched them actually build the rockets, or even understood what was required to build them. I think that's a Kerbal.
No, it's this game.
Oh, this is Kerbal Space Program. Resume saved. This is the first time I've launched this.
Apparently a boy's name can be Orlando. Look what I just got. I was doing the wheel where it just picks a random name and I got Orlando.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I missed a spot shaving. Okay, whatever. This has been a really rough start. Start new. What are you doing over here?
We bought Jax and Palmy at Target. Hey, they didn't see Jax yet. Hi.
Okay, I need you to go away now. Thank you.
Put these back on your desk.
Don't tell me what to do. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerman, Flight Director, and your guide to this quick introduction. This is the Space Center. From here you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around. Hold the right mouse button. Right mouse button. Okay. And move to the camera. Move the camera with the arrow keys. That is very slow. Right-click over the Space Center facilities to view more about them. Left-click when you're ready to head inside. Yippee. Need more information? Check out the training section on the main menu. I really hope you guys actually teach them how to play.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, we're going to the moon. Let's go. This is not going to be good. Launch. I didn't even set a button for the launch. Like, do I press something? Enter. Space. There we go. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten, Jebediah. Did I at least get into orbit? No, no way. That was a very expensive bottle rocket. I don't really want to wait to watch him fall down. Nope, didn't quite break the hold of gravity, did you? Oh, he's not happy. Stay on target. Stay on target. Oh. Sorry. Okay. So, I might actually need that training. You know, I saw that training pop up. Where is that? Alright, it seems I was on the right track where I'm just really supposed to launch this potato into the sky and then make a little money off that and then buy some stuff. No training for me, I suppose. I mean, that would get it somewhere. Ooh, this might actually give it a spin. Screw it, that might be funny. Let's do that. And send it. This Kerbal's gonna be dizzy. Whoa. Nice. How do I get out of this? For God's sake. I'm stuck like this. Send it. Whoa! I am not sorry.
Mom, I dinner.
Oh yeah, I'm much heavier now. He did not make it very high. Meow. Mystery goo containment? I have no clue. Let's just see what this does. I'm hoping it's all sequential and the parachute goes off. We'll see what happens. Whoa, yep, see, that's what I thought. Dang. Oh, crap. Do you not have... You don't have thermal shielding? But you're not actually gonna do it. There's no way. You're not breaking gravity. No, I sent you straight up. There's no way you're not coming back down. Yeah, no, he's coming back. Where's my chute? Oh, no atmosphere. Yeah, okay. You know... Incoming! Ugh. Alright. I'm still a little torn between doing training and then just doing the science gameplay. I think we'll do training. Just to get some basic controls. I don't necessarily have to go... How far? The moon. Yeah, I don't need to go that far. Let's get started. Well, that's one. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. I'm Warner von Kerman. Again, not doing the German accent. Whether you want to put a satellite into orbit, make a transcontinental flight, or step onto the very surface of the moon, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy, even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like myself. Yeah, it should be pretty easy. Oh, this is a lot bigger than what I was working with before. Holy crap. The hell were you giving me? Oh, there's more. I really should not have committed to the reading. In this tutorial, I will first show you around the Kerbal Space Center, then take you to the vehicle assembly building where you'll learn how to construct a simple ship. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what the parts do, how to change the performance settings of the parts which have that option, and how to control staging. Yeah, I need to know all of that because, holy crap, my webcam's in the way. Can I move you? At the end of the tutorial, you'll have a craft fit for a quick hop from the launch pad. What happens after that? At each step, I will lock out all the controls other than the ones you need for that step. If you still manage to mess up, took even more time to come up. You can press the back button to go back and fix things. It won't light up. It won't light up unless you do mess up. Whatever. Stop it. Jesus. We are now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. Are you talking to me? Whoa. Are you just yelling out, Dad? What am I hearing over here? Okay. Hey, buddy. A little less commentary, please. It's just Mario Party. That's annoying. The KSC, for short, is home to the pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements for space exploration. Using the facilities you can see here, you'll be able to manage your space program, create rockets and planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, find exciting new uses for the explosive substances, and in case of emergency, hire more Kerbals. To find out about each of the facilities, you can hover your mouse over them, or the facilities buttons. They show up when your cursor outside the window. If you need to repair a structure, why would I do that? Or upgrade them in career, you can do this by right-clicking them. Can I damage these buildings? I guess it makes sense if I fall on them. Take some time to hover over the mouse over the buildings and see what they each are. And when you're ready to enter the vehicle assembly building, the VAB. Oh, when you're ready, enter. I kind of thought it was just a... Whatever. Alright, let's go. I don't care about everything else. Damn. Again, this is much bigger than what you left me with. Very good, you clicked. When you see the middle of this screen... What you see in the middle of this screen is the construction area. This is where your parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is the parts toolbar. It will show all the parts you have available in each of your different categories. Once there are any to pick, that is. Have you not given me anything? If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module. And it's best to make it the first part you place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're just starting, there's only one choice. Go ahead and pick the command module from the Pods tab. Do I need to move my cam? Come on. Let's put me here. Better? Oh, Jesus. What happened to the rest of me? Wait, why is it doing that? What the hell? So, it moved this. And I have a bit of a problem. When I click out, it disappears. This window stops existing when I click out of the... Why'd you do that? She seemed to have a problem.
Wait. You can't play Bowser?
You bastard.
Wait, right.
Let me... Why did this break so bad? Let me assign this to a different window and, just make it Steam. Why did it do that? Okay, so there's a problem. When I click out, this doesn't stay open. And then it's not recognized by the Windows search. That's really annoying. This is really derailing my stuff, guys. I just have to make it the full screen, unfortunately. That's really stupid. See? Clicks out. I don't want it like this. I'm gonna have to figure out why it's doing that. I don't like full display. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. Yeah. You're saying too much, and I'm starting to get annoyed. You'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, or he or she will have to return safely to the ground, or water, on Kerbin. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens. They can be found in the Utilities tab. Sure. When you're choosing parts... I feel like the game slowed down for some reason. When you're choosing parts, you can view the details or available parts hovering over them. Blah, 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 blah. I am... Fine, parachute. Some parts, like our parachute here, have configurable options. To see these, you need to right-click on the parachute we just attached to the pod. Do that now, and you can see the available parameters. Okay. On the parachute, you see that you can adjust your altitude and the atmospheric pressure at which to open. That setting can be quite useful in distant worlds. Okay. For now, let's check the opening height on the Kerbal chute is 1,000 meters, because safety is the Kerbal way after all. Clunky. And then pressure slider. Move it to a bit to the right at 0.2. That's not right. 0.02? 0.2. The setting prevents the chute from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. On carbon, O2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude, so even if you're staging early, the pressure will wait until then to activate. You can hide these options by right-clicking on the background screen. I can't put another part. Engines. I don't like that whoosh noise. It's really annoying. Engine. Oh, you're better than my last setup. Oops, I forgot you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist, and to make that craft survivable as it stands, now you'll have to be better at rocket science and something. Problem with the craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for the payload. A single small pod and shoot. It will either burn up on ascent from going too fast or burn up from coming back down. Even if you survive that, the craft's mass will cause it to fall into the fast. Okay, I promised to teach you how to change that to make it work in a later tutorial, but for now, let's continue. You just told me this was going to fail. Well, at least this way I can tell you about how to remove the parts. Pick up the thumper. The thumper. This. Okay, here we go. This is like my starting ship. I've already done this. Something about a star. Okay. Doesn't have enough oomph to get this little craft moving skyward, and quickly. As you progress, you'll be able to unlock more engines and other parts. Alright. So I've already sort of sniffed this out. Staging stack, it's the box with the number 0 and the icons of pursuit the engine isn't. Like show us which parts will be activated at which stage of the rocket. What this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the parachute will be triggered. While we could be considered funny to open the chute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight, I've noticed. To fix this, we need to separate the engine and the chute into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, you'll see a little plus and minus to appear in the left of the box. Click the plus button to add the new stage. If you add too many, click the minus button on the extra ones to remove them. Make sure you have precisely 2 stages. Oh, I'm in the way again. Damn it. Excellent. It's important to note that the stages activate from the highest number and then count down. So our first stage will be stage 1, the engine, and our second one will be stage 0, the chute. Now drag the engine icon from stage 0 to stage 1. Okay, I've gotten about this far. That's it. We now have a safe, well, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of the screen, you will see the name of your craft. Untitled Spacecraft doesn't seem too majestic. Why don't we change that to something more your style? You can add a description if you'd like. When you use the load screen later, you'll name description to help you grab the right vessel. Okay, Potato. Potato. There we go. Save icon. Yes? Excellent work, if you say so. Feel free to play around with the parts and techniques I've shown you, and then, when you're ready to continue, press the red button in the upper right to exit. I thought we were launching. Back at the training menu by the flight basics tutorial, you learn how to fly this little craft. And then, The intermittent construction tutorial can teach you more about the udder. So you're not going to jump right into that. I guess I don't need wings. Save. Leave, apparently. What? It's weird how it doesn't... Yeah, it's already basically open, buddy. Don't spill it, please. You're a different guy. You're Gene Kerman. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center launch facility. I'm Gene Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you've already checked the basic construction tutorial, and if not, I recommend you do that before you going through this one. Today we'll do a run-through of all the important controls for your spacecraft. Our little hopper, I named it Potato, but alright, from your basic construction lesson with Warner may not have all of them, but we'll do a full run-through once and see how it flies. If you're ready, press next. Flying spacecraft is about to be... You interrupted me, and I lost my train of thought. I don't read good. Don't do that. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect your pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Let's look at those first. All the other controls will be locked until they're needed, or this tutorial is closed. Excellent. Pitch, yaw, and roll are the three directions you'll rotate your craft. To help you visualize these, we'll take a holiday snap of the hopper below. Okay. Oh, it is a little bit of WASD. Okay. By controlling the pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep your ship in a controlled flight. Yeah, good luck with that. So it's QAWSDE. Oh my god. I mean, let's just play like QWOP or something. Pitch up and down. Yaw left, right. AD. QE. My god. I guess I'm gonna play with that. Oh, try it now and notice that the indicators on the lower left side move as you provide control input. Oh, okay, over here. Okay. Throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls you'll need to master for successful, crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle controls for now. Really? For now, as this vessel has no need for it. I don't need throttle. Oh, like I can change the throttle? Don't worry, I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Remember that all these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a little small one. It's also good to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it becomes lighter, and this will usually mean easier to control. Now let's look at the rest of the flight controls. Once again, I'm in the way of my little guy down here. Move. There's no good place for me, I think. I'm just kind of awkwardly here. In flight, all the planning you put into the staging sequence of your ship comes into play. From launch to the final deployment of the descent parachutes, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by activating stages. The spacebar. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left corner. It shows the current active stage. This one. Stage 1. Oh, okay. Since we haven't launched yet, it shows the first stage as active. I have your staging controls locked for now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. One more thing on staging. If the staging setup is causing strife, or you change your mind about something, you can edit the staging sequence on the fly. pun intended. No need to go back into the assembly facility. Yeah, I sort of discovered that too. Important part of flying is knowing your ship is oriented and where it is going. That's why it's a good pilot. A good pilot is always aware of the ship's altitude. Oh. Oh. Huh. And this velocity vector, where it's going. These aren't always the same direction, and as your skills improve, you should pick up on these. The big round instrument on the lower center of the screen is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper, death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. When you're not pointing straight up, it is easily visible as a line between blue sky and the brown ground, as well as its heading, compass bearing, and speed. You also have several icons that indicate things like your current velocity vector, but we'll have a look at those later. In the top center part of the screen, you have your altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. The altimeter will show the distance in the planet, to the planet's surface at sea level. This means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out for the ground when landing. Your vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing when you're launching. It's considered best to keep the gauge pointed up. Atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. It's a lot of information. One last thing before we give this rocket the green light. In the staging stack, you can see the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows when the chute will be activating by staging. You already know that. But the background will also change color to indicate when it's safe to stage the parachute. And the foreground, the parachute, will change color depending on the parachute's state. Note, however, that by default, the parachutes will not deploy when it's unsafe, even if you stage them. Why not? I mean, the whole point of this game is to kind of destroy the craft, right? Guys. Guys. Shush, please. The left three shows safe. The left three show safety. Safe, risky, and unsafe. So, like the background. Deploy. The chute is unstaged, white. And the left three, unstaged white. Okay. The right three shows state after staging: armed, deployed, and cut or shredded. When you are familiar with these chute icons colors, we can move on. I suppose I'm familiar. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the flight controls and you'll be clear for launch. At any time you may press escape to pause menu. To pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight or end this tutorial and return to the main menu. For now, get yourself prepared to hit space when ready to launch. Don't forget our hopper has only solid rocket motors, so there's no throttle controls. That's why we don't review the throttle here. Make sure to fly it in a nice high arc and enjoy the flight. So not straight up. Okay. Send it. I tried to turn, but it didn't really let me. Okay, so it should self-deploy, right? Okay, so I did just automatically do that. I thought it was automatic. Why is this not opening? Huh? That's weird. I'm not allowed to increase the speed. Alright, well, Valentina survived. I guess. What did we learn? Intermediate construction. There's a lot more reading than I intended. At some point, I might just go straight to science and see what I can do. Hello again, glad you could come back. Get started, go ahead and enter the VAB, and we'll give you an overview of what we're building today. Here we are again. Now to business. If you remember, in our last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper and some of the basics of construction area. In this tutorial, we'll expand your knowledge of some of the more useful features in the VAB, and we'll build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. To build our new design, let's start with the craft we built in the basic construction tutorial. Through this, though this is just called hopper, this will save us a little bit of time, and the accounting department is always happy to see we save time. Can we open? I named you Potato. Lies. Move the flea. If you mess up, you can recreate the craft from the part list by placing a pod first and then a chute on top of it. Note that throughout this tutorial, I will leave all the parts you need available to be placed. If you delete the craft file somehow, close it and load the dialog and open it again, and the craft will be back. Really explaining what I should do if I F up. It's not that big of an emergency. I think I could get it from there. Unlike the last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute stats from what we used before. Right-click on the chute and verify that its deployment altitude is 1,000 meters as last time, but also get the minimum pressure slider all the way to the right to 0.75 atmospheres. That corresponds to an altitude on Kerbal of about 2 kilometers, and it means a much shorter time hanging around during descent. Well, that's all the way. First off, let's change the name of our craft and the description if you want, so that we can still have our trash can special for later on. Was I supposed to? Okay. Oh, I see. Save as. Simple change the name to something other than Hopper, and we can proceed. Hopper 2. Great. For this craft, we are going to give the ship some additional purpose by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data for Kerbal kind. Kerbal kind. There are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the mystery goo containment unit available. That's what I was missing. I was supposed to attach something. Switch to the science tab. This is one of our basic scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try and understand better. I mean, they don't even know what color the goo is. God. What did I get myself into? When you pick up the part, and you'll see that it's designed to attach to the side of other parts radially. If we attach only one of these, then during flight our craft will be unbalanced. One way to solve this is to add extra goo containers on the opposite side of the rocket so that they balanced. Luckily we have a symmetry tool to help here. Oh snap. Oh, there we go. There we go. I needed that. Going to control symmetry and blah blah snapping. Set this to 2 times. And then pick up place the mystery containment unit on the side of the pod near the top. You will notice that a second one has been placed opposite the first by a symmetry tool. You have already placed a lone canister. Pick it up, make sure symmetry is set correctly, and place it again so that is duplicate on the other side. Remember to place containers near the nose of the pod. Let's get it on the white. Huh. If you had too many more parts here, the craft will be making... What did you just say? I need to make this a little bigger. Can I? Fuck it. If we add too many more parts here, the craft we are making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely, and too heavy to be slowed by our parachute, leading to sudden impact syndrome. So we will need to add a decoupler below the pod. Yeah, I've been waiting for those. Decouplers can be found in the coupling tab. And it'll let us split the craft when we no longer need the lower parts. We won't be able to recover the discarded parts, but at least our craft and our Kerbal will survive re-entry and landing. Decouplers can be used in many ways, but for now, let's just add one where the bottom of the pod. And place it. Note that stacked decouplers have arrows. The arrows show which side that decouples. Make sure the decoupler arrows are pointed up towards the pod. It will be by default. Why does that really matter? It's just an O-ring, right? So that means this part will break away from this part, right? Not, it'll just drop the part below it. I don't know why that essentially matters. Either way. What?
Hey, that's my spot. That's my spot.
Well done. You recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial we had to adjust the staging stack when we added the engine to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, the extra stage is automatically added to the stack so that the new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as those above it. Oh, that might be why. The arrow will indicate the staging, I guess. You can, of course, still move these all around, but hopefully this will save you some time as you go. If you ever want to return this default staging setup, click reset button at the bottom of the stage. My god. This time we are going to use the liquid propellant rocket engine. Unlike solid rocket motors, these engines don't carry their own propellant with them. We need to add some fuel tanks. That might have been my problem before. Maybe not. Go to the fuel tanks tab. We are still using these early parts that are only this is another area like engines. These advanced springs, bigger and other better parts. We're gonna need 5 of these tanks. Jesus. Before you grab 5 tanks from the part toolbox, though, let me give you another tip, because efficiency is my middle name. It goes over the Vaughn. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate that by holding left Alt key and clicking on the tank. You can do this on the bottom tank a few times, quickly get 5 of these attached without going... I mean, that's not... It's a nice little shortcut, but I'd probably survive. What it should do is just keep this attached to my cursor so I can just go boop, 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 but fine. So you said left Alt? Oh, okay. Good. Switch over to the engines tab now. Okay. The swivel engine you see here is obviously different from the flea that we used before. This is a liquid engine and it needs and burns both liquid fuel and oxidizer. That might have been what I missed. Funnily enough, that's what we just added to the rocket. Wait, so this is both? Attach the swivel. Okay, again, this is about where I was last time, but I couldn't get it to lift off. And now keep an eye on the staging stack to see how it changes. Rocket, decoupler, parachute. You're almost there and you're doing fine. Maybe not as speedily as someone of my caliber though. The first thing we're going to need to do is give the rocket a little better stability so it keeps going the way we want it to go. We will achieve this by adding some fins near the bottom of the rocket. Fins can be found in the aerodynamics tab. Again, I was pretty much here before. 4 and snap. Drop basic fins on the last rocket tank. You'll see the other 3 symmetry counterparts be placed as well. Excellent. We've now got a rocket that will let us stop doing that noise. I don't like it. It's nails on a chalkboard for me. Stop it. We've now got a rocket that'll let us reach the stars. Admittedly, I'd say reach for, as this is a basic rocket which can't achieve orbit. But it's on the bright side, that means re-entry will also be basic. You've done a great job in building basic hopper and suborbital capable rocket. Hopefully, you've learned a few things about how to build a craft and how to use some of the shortcuts that are in here. Feel free to hang around for a bit and try your hand at other things too. Perhaps you could look at the next lesson of suborbital flight, where you'll see just how well this rocket performs. Or head over to the science tutorial and learn how to advance your career and unlock more parts. If you could show yourself out of the construction facility and rip on. Okay, so I didn't really have to read any of that. Okay, that's why my potato left. Oh. Adjustable ramp intake. What is this? This goes on the top. Like, this is like the top. Missing a lot of cool pieces. Alright, let's try suborbital flight. I don't know how far I'm going to go for the tutorials. Maybe go for orbit and then I try to do something myself. Hello again, glad you can make it back. Today we're taking an exciting step getting our first Kerbal into space. I mean, suborbit, is that really space? Yep, with a capital S. Hopefully you remember the controls we discussed in the basic flight tutorial, but don't forget that you can always press escape and click the view key bindings button for a reminder. If you're ready, let's get started. Your mission today is to make a short suborbital, less than orbital flight over the water to the east, which is I thought this bottom thing was also a compass. Weep. All right. It's a nice arcing path that ensures a gentle, survivable re-entry. Straight up and then straight down is not so good for survival. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball, okay, as aim on the nav ball as aim point, but do note that this is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is normally used for other things and does not help with ascents. Starting with the nose pointing straight up in the launch pad or 90 degrees elevation from the eastern horizon. What the hell are you talking about? Tilt east 80 degrees elevation on the nav ball, but oh my god. What? Oh crap. What do you want from me? Surface, target, orbit. Tilt east and 80 degrees elevation on the nav ball by 150 milliseconds started. What does that mean? Tilt east to 70 degrees on the nav ball by... God damn it. After burnout, coast up into space and have a look around. Prepare for re-entry. Lastly, re-enter and land safely. Once we reach burnout, run out of propellant, we'll have a bit more time to discuss some other things. Oh, will we? Unlike the Hopper in our first lesson, this is a new craft that has liquid fuel engines. This means we can use the throttle to set the output power of the ship's engines. That's why I wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't solid. Throttle is controlled by the following keys. Left shift is to throttle up, and left control to throttle down. Z to throttle max, and X to shut off the throttle. Now try these out now. You'll see the indicator needle slide up and down along the graph on the lower left side of the nav ball. Okay. What? Okay, so SAS stands for Stability Augmentation System, although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as the Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto torque drive compensator technology to counteract the rotation of the ship. In its simplest mode, it will keep the ship aligned with the orientation it has when you turn the SAS on, or if you pitch yaw roll, the SAS is on the orientation when you release the controls. I think I've seen this before. That's probably why I couldn't spin properly on the first one. SAS can be activated or deactivated on momentarily by holding down the F key, and it can be toggled by pressing the T key. If you have problems following the maneuvers once you enable SAS... How's it going, Gaff? We had to do the tutorial. I tried doing career straight out, and there's no way. If you have problems following the maneuvers, once you enable the SAS and lift off, you can click the small red button to the left of the nav ball that has a miniature target indicator. I don't know what that means. It's the lower left of the buttons. What? Once I enable it. I'll figure it out. Yeah, this is my first time playing. I have watched a few people play. I guess I wasn't paying attention that well. It's also been a few years. This will cause the SAS to follow the target indicator and fly for you. That's good. Note that autopiloting function will not be available until you are flying. Okay, I'll try to remember that. This craft has a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for the launch. Set your throttle to about 2/3 the upper... Up. Yeah. Well, that's max, isn't it? Yeah. Also turn on the SAS to help control... Press D. I didn't think this was going to be easy, but I didn't think it was going to not tell me anything on the career mode. Makes sense. But now that means I basically have to play the tutorial all the way through. So let's throttle up. You said about 2/3. That looks like it's half. But that's max. So... the upper, the 2 mil. Alright, I'm going to say that's here. During this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and could take a while to read. As this is a short suborbital hop, and I don't want you to miss anything important, I will place a warning at the top of the page where you might want to pause the game and to read. Wow. The warning will look like this. Wow. Okay, enough talk. Unlock the rest of the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. At any time, you can press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight, end this tutorial, and return to the main menu. If I've enabled the target marker on the nav ball, give it a look. Oh god. Give it a look to make sure you see it. And then let's get ready to light this candle. I have been reading too much. Double click your throttle. Double check your throttle. I don't even know. Because this should be 0. That looks like 25%. 50. I feel like this should be 75, but apparently that's 100. So what the hell? If that's 100, then this should be 50. Alright. Upper of the middle 2 notches. What's upper 2? This is right in the middle. When you're ready to launch, remember to start turning at 50 meters per second. I don't even know which way is east, dude. Okay. Send it. Ah! That's too far. I thought you said there would be SAS controls. Whee! Or did I turn it off? Oh, crap. I don't... Turn on SAF to help control things. Press T. I thought that was supposed to stop me from doing flips.
This tastes like Pocky.
It will keep you pointed where you want.
This tastes like Pocky.
Oh, you found the chocolate mushroom things?
Yeah, they taste like Pocky.
They basically are. They're just a different shape. But they melted in the cabinet.
Mm.
That was supposed to keep me from doing that.
What? What? Whoa.
I'm gonna try that again. Maybe this wasn't on and I didn't notice. I might have accidentally hit it twice. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that. Oh. Something's wrong. Okay. I think I'm forgetting. Because I'm supposed to set the degrees myself. And maybe that doesn't stop me from doing flips. It just stops me from losing control. Where did this come from? It's fine. Okay, I think I know. I don't know. Is that east? I don't even know. Oh, my encoding's okay. All right, let's try this again. 28. What is it, 80 degrees? You want 80? Where's 80? Oh. 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 That ain't right. We're up to full power. Not gonna clear the atmosphere. You said I was good. You can't determine that yet. Okay. I kind of forgot I was supposed to be following the pink marker. Also, it's possible that I don't quite know where it's supposed to be. Your throttle to 2/3. The upper of the 2 middle notches on the slider. It has to be this. I don't know how that's upper, but fine. Okay, my issue was turning the wrong way. I was supposed to be hitting D. Oh, throttle up. I didn't see it. Nice. Okay. So you want me to pause? Okay. Great work. You've succeeded in getting your ship in a trajectory bound for space. I have now set your target indicator to align with your velocity vector. That will minimize drag by turning the smallest side of the vehicle into the airflow. Somewhere around here, you'll see the nav ball speed indicator auto switch from surface to orbit. Okay. Accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch it back to surface mode by clicking on it until it says surface again. You might have noticed from the flickering flames near the end of your burn here, which is due to the high speed of your craft in the atmosphere. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Warner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. And besides, this high and this slow, you'll be fine. If you want to have a look at your trajectory, you can switch to the map. To have a look at your projected path, just remember to come back to flight mode again. Are you leaving me here? Now that we're coasting our way to the Apoapsis. That's the highest point in our current projected path. I feel like I should be able to pronounce that. There's something. I'm sorry, my encoding keeps overloading. It shouldn't. This is Kerbal Space Program. Come on now. And I'm paused. Apoapsis. I'll figure that out. It's probably a word I've heard before. Can we just say apex? We've got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over what you can do in space. Okay. I feel like tilting my nose with no throttle shouldn't do anything. I should be able to adjust my trajectory if I don't have propulsion.
Where in the fridge?
While we float up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple of things you can do. It says I don't have to pause this. With an advanced enough astronaut complex in the SKC, you can train our Kerbals to be able to spacewalk, or EVA. Although we won't be doing that on this flight.
I got one too.
Also, we can when we are carrying space devices like our goo containers, we can perform experiments. Feel free to play with the goo containers now by right-clicking on them. I'll let you know when it's time to next phase of the suborbital flight. Right-click. Observe goo. Yes. The goo seems to be clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have has become brittle. Keep experiment. Transmit data. Transmitting an experiment will render this module inoperable. Restoring the function will require a scientist. Yes. Wow. Oh, do I not have what I need? Keep experiment? Oh. I've lost trajectory. As we near the edge of the atmosphere again, it is time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. We're only going to re-enter with the pod and the chute and goo containers, but we're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stage around until the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Anyway, it's best to re-enter bottom first, and since we ascended at about 70 degrees pitch, we'll naturally need to re-enter at about 70 degrees pitch. That means you want to aim the top of the capsule at the 70 degrees pitch line at the opposite heading. This is a heading of 270 on the nav ball. I can barely even see what the hell. And 70 degrees pitch, and I've placed the target marker there to help you where this, show you where this lies. Turn the SAS off. Change your attitude.
Can you turn this on, please? Dad?
Yeah, attitude is angle, I think. That's not telling me to wise up. What's up?
Can you turn this on, please? Dad, can I have TV?
Sure. Change your attitude. I get it. It's basically angle, I think.
We're not looking at.
SAS off. Okay, now SAS back on. Nice! Now hold steady on your new attitude. Let SAS do its job and get ready to decouple the stage and start re-entry. It's really wise to decouple as you accelerate into it. That seems odd. Where's it gonna go? Look at Jebediah, he's so happy. Again, I'd put my webcam somewhere that makes more sense, but I'm just always in the way. I guess... Now it's time to get rid of the booster, since it's just weighing us down. Stage discard needed in parts and mass. Okay. I'm gonna move my webcam. I hate where I am. All I do is block the staging stuff while I'm building. I don't think it's super important. That just looks better. All right. You are now re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere. Make sure to keep... What if we just named our planet after us? We're just... Welcome to Humana. I don't know. I actually don't hate that, now that I said that out loud. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. We don't want you getting burnt or anything. Don't mind the flames, whether... Warner is a world-famous rocket scientist after all, and he's built this ship to withstand them. Last time we watched the parachute icon to wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we're going to do something a little different. Remember in the construction tour we were designing this vessel, we set the chute to not semi-deploy until 0.75 atmospheres of pressure. That means the chute won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now. On Kerbin, it means about 2,000 altitude above sea level. And the craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that the chute will survive deployment. Are you telling me to deploy or not deploy? So we watched. The chute won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now. So it won't deploy at all. Uncarpeted means... Why would we be traveling slow enough when we hit 2,000? I don't know. So let's take the bold step of arming the chute now and let the smarts of in there pop it at the right altitude. So I do stage it, and then it does it itself. You can trust me. Stage a chute now by pressing space. Okay, that seems wrong. Awesome. Do I have to really pause again? So while you set your chute to not actually semi-deploy until around 2 kilometers, we do look out for you at the mission control. We do need to ensure that the opening height is second full deployment step is correct. You can even adjust these parameters during flight, so right-click on the parachute now and check their sliders. Don't touch the pressure slider or bad things will happen. And make sure the full deploy altitude is no less than 1,000 meters or you will not have enough time to slow down. Once you're satisfied, just hang on until about 2 kilometers and watch the parachute trigger itself according to the settings we've chosen. While we're waiting, I want you to look at the bottom of the capsule. Note that you do not have heat shield, and you don't need one because it's such a gentle flight. Actually, heat shield would make things more dangerous at this craft because the additional mass would be pushing the limits of the module parachute. Really. So it's not going to do anything until 2,000. Oh, right. You wanted me to do something. Yeah, it's all good. Be funny if they had set it a little too low or something. Could you have played some music or something? Is that like my target or something? What am I looking at? Oh, going slow enough. So I am technically decelerating. Oh, that's the debris. That's my boosters. Jebediah is looking a little more concerned. I'm trusting you. Hey! Yes, the chute is away. Now enjoy a leisurely float down to the surface, if that's what we want to call this. Are you going to tell me that I can leave at some point? What's up, Nighthawk? Yeah, I'm just starting out. I figured I had to go through the tutorial. I did try to go straight into career mode, and that was not happening. Couldn't even figure out the throttle. Alright, I assume I can just leave at this point. Nope. I'll let it touch down, see what happens. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'll get through orbit, and then I'm gonna go play in the science. See what I can make in there. Kids talking in the background, sorry. Welcome back, and congratulations on completing, and even surviving, your first real mission. Once you've managed to launch, control your vessel into space, orient yourself correctly, and to land safely. That's quite an accomplishment. I should read ahead. If you want to practice this again, choose revert launch from the menu. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I gotta do maybe 2 more tutorials. Alright, so we're gonna do advanced construction and then go to orbit. That looks cool. Welcome to the third and final tutorial about construction, the advanced construction tutorial. I've had to delay some important work today to fit this in, so pay close attention as I show you how a real rocket scientist makes orbital craft. Yeah, I do like actually having a goal. It would be fun to just try to make some rockets just to see what they can do or what I can make. But I will play around with career at some point, but it wasn't a good starting. In our last tutorial, we built a vessel that could escape the atmosphere, but it didn't have enough oomph to escape for long. This time around, we'll cover more advanced rocket design concepts like multiple stages and boosters, as well as extra parts like the RCS and solar panels. You'll want these if you spend more than a few minutes in orbit. When we're done, you'll have a craft capable of ascent to orbit, orbital operations, and a safe return to Kerbin. And you can test it out in Go for Orbit tutorial, which will teach you how to make use of it all. You'll notice that there are a lot more parts available this time. That's because an orbit-capable craft is much more complex than the little puddle jumper showed you how to make last time. However, the main principles are the same, so I hope you remember what I taught you. If you mess up, Control-Z, blah blah blah. We're starting with the other thing. No. Again, you only have 1 pod available, so go ahead and select it. I thought it started blinking, didn't it? Why is it doing that? Okay. Yep, parachute. It really should just come with it, honestly. And again, the last time, adjust the parachute parameters, right-click, and full atmosphere. You are now going to construct an upper stage. This upper stage will finish placing the pod in orbit, and once there, provide RCS steering and thrusters, electricity for the pod. It will also provide all the maneuvering capability in orbit, including the re-entry burn. Damn. It's going to consist of a decoupler, we don't want to carry it home, an RCS fuel tank, a liquid fuel tank, 4 RCS thrusters, 4 solar panels, 4 batteries, and an efficient upper stage engine. Damn. That's quite the shopping list, isn't it? So let me know when you're ready to proceed. Firstly, we'll add a stack decoupler below the pod to let us discard the parts we don't want to bring back with us. Yeah, I figured. Huh. Yeah, grab the decoupler. I did that. Yeah, it should be pointed up. If the arrows are pointed down, that's not good. Detach it from the pod, then use WASD to rotate it the right way up, and then reattach it. Next, we'll add the RCS tank. The RCS stands for the Reaction Control System. I was just about to ask. And this fuel will help you with fine maneuvers. Go to the tanks. Tanks. Grab the 120. Your craft is not going to need all the monopropellant. in the tank, so to save some weight, right-click on it to get the move the slider to 96. Oh. I thought it was percent. I was like, 120%. What does that mean? Monopropellant is called that because while large rocket engines use two propellants, fuel and oxidizer, RCS uses a single propellant. RCS is generally less efficient, but is good for small velocity changes in any direction, rather than just forwards like the main engines do, and can be used to rotate the craft as well as move it. Damn, whatever this means. I guess small change, yeah, okay. It was kind of weird that I seemed to be able to just do that without this last time. We'll be adding multiple liquid fuel tanks to this stage to get the right amount for the upper stage engine, and we need an extra tank to offset the weight of the RCS. This is going to be a pain. So to add a tiny rocket propellant tank, it's the one named 100. And then add the medium tank below it. No decouplers? Lastly, for the main parts of this upper stage, we'll add an engine. The Terrier engine produces almost no thrust at sea level air pressure, but is highly efficient in space of 20 kilometers, where the atmosphere is thin enough to not interfere with the exhaust. This makes it a good choice for upper stage, since the engine will not be activated until the rocket has reached the conditions where this kind of engine works well. If you select the wrong engine, you can always throw it away and try again. Ah. Okay. Lastly, for the main parts of this upper stage, we'll add an engine. Oh, I've already read this. Next. Nicely done. That's pretty well assembled upper stage. If I do say so myself. Look at you to orbit if you put enough rocket under it. While we have this reasonably simple vessel here, let's explore one of the other useful tools we have available. This is a lot of reading. To make sure your ship flies controllably, some parts need to be placed carefully around a point inside the ship called the center of mass. This COM is a spot where the mass on one side is balanced by the mass on the other side. Thrust applied through the COM will cause the ship to move without unwanted rotation, while the thrust properly applied around the COM will cause the ship to rotate without moving. Oh, this makes the COM such a useful and important thing that we add a tool so the assembly building can show it to you with a marker. Let's have a look at how the indicator works here. This? Oh, this looks somewhat familiar. Click on the COM indicator toggle and we'll have a play here on the picture. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's adjust the fuel levels on some of the tanks to see how it affects the center of mass. This music is perfect for this. Right-click on the fuel tanks and drag the fuel oxidizer propellant levels down to 0, and don't touch the monopropellant levels, as they won't be burnt by the Terrier engine. As you're doing this, you'll see the COM move. During the flight, this vessel's COM will move the same way as it burns the fuel until the tanks are empty. So... okay. Wait. You want me to do each of the fuel tanks? Do you want me to keep them at 0? Up. I'm not sure what I need to do to get to next. Okay. Okay, now go ahead and refill the tanks. Come on, Wagner. Warner. Accessories. To our upper stage. they'll transform it from merely something that gets us into orbit into something that helps us once we're there. This is like a book. Now that you know where the COM is when the stage is full and when it's empty, you have the information you need to place the RCS thrusters. Do I? I kind of looked at it, but I don't... Whatever. RCS thrusters are found in the command and control category. Moving the spaceship without rotating is called translation. This is a useful kind of maneuver for several reasons, including docking to another craft, yeah. In order translation with the RCS to avoid unwanted rotation, you need to balance the thrusters around the COM so that can some of the forces balance right in its natural pivotal point. Oh my god. For 2 equal sets of thrusters, each set should be equidistant from the COM, and for a thruster set, what we're doing here, it should be right around the COM itself. What makes this complicated is that the COM changes during flight, as you just saw, so you need to place the thrusters at a compromise point between wet COM and the dry COM. Warner, you're killing me. Note that the career mode games, RCS thrusters don't become available until fairly late. In the meantime, the reaction wheel capability built into your command pod will probably be enough for turning in space through reaction wheels, not allow you to translate. I'm just gonna go through it the way it is. Yeah, it's get them near the middle so that when the thrust pushes it side to side, it's not gonna make it turn. But now I gotta look at the engine again and see where it was moving. So it basically moved all the way up to this lip. So it wants it here? Yeah, turn on angle snap, something, something. I don't know how many it wants. Oh, that's more options than I thought. Okay, let's turn on this angle snap and make the aligning thrusters part easier. Do you do that by clicking on the toggle snap icon 4 or symmetry? Alright, I believe that would probably be around this ring here. Let's do 4. Right, because I believe when I wasn't really paying attention to where it went to about this line. Oh, maybe not. So maybe a little bit lower. Tiny rocket propellant tank on about the right place to attach this. Oh, he basically said it. Okay, well, why did you tell me that and then... Whatever. You tell me how to measure and then you tell me exactly where to put them. I guess it's good to know both. If you don't get the placement quite right, you can also adjust the offset gizmo to the fine-tune... Oh my god, fine-tune the position. Make sure you turn the angle snap off before you use the offset. You'll want... This is so precise. You want fine adjustment for that. Snap turned on. The adjustments are anything but fine. Click the offset mode icon in the upper left of the main editor window. Sorry, I'm okay. Just to the right part. What? Is that not down? It said upper left. What am I looking for here? I don't know what it's talking about. I actually don't really care. Like... Oh, okay. But turn off snap? There we go. Okay. You gotta be so precise. Like, so... it would make a huge difference if it's here or here? It has to be that close? Wow. Okay. Reset this. I was hoping so. Wait. Why is it not letting me continue? Oh, comm indicator. Okay, that's... That was... Weird that it was already off. Lots of things on the craft use electric charge. That's what cool scientists call rocket electricity. In order to keep your batteries topped up, you'll need a way to generate power. Now, some engines generate electricity while they're running, but you don't want to keep your engines running in orbit. Your orbit would get all kinds of messed up, and you'll run out of propellant. Our command pod has some batteries built into it, but to be safe, you can add more batteries. And you can add solar panels or other electricity generating items. We're going to do both. Switch to electrical. Okay. 4 times symmetry, yeah. Use part rotation skill. Cool. Use their... Before placing them, use the WSD and you... Okay. Grab the aux stat. Over the lower end of the fuel tanks. Like that. Press A to rotate it 90 degrees, then click it to place it set the frame. 90 degrees. Oh. That's kind of picky. Yeah, that's fine. And then put batteries between the solar panels. Excellent work. You build a nice starter upper stage, which... This is only the upper stage. Which will do well for some orbital exploration. Now we need to work on getting up into orbit, and for that we'll build our lower stage. In comparison to the upper stage, it's quite simple. Just a couple of tanks and an engine. That won't be enough alone, however, so we'll add some boosters too. Add another decoupler. That feels wrong. It probably covers it up or something. Yeah, okay. During ascent, discard empty parts of the vessel below. Oh, and you notice how when you add the decoupler, a fairing is placed? Yeah, I did. Around the engine. This will get jettisoned automatically when we stage the decoupler. What's up?
I spell devil.
What?
Devil.
How do you spell devil?
Yeah.
Really? J-E-S-U-S.
No.
D-E-V-I-L. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. Now we need to add the fuel tanks to our lower stage. Add 2 of the medium rocket propellants, the 400. 2 of them. Having trouble sliding around here. It's the arrow keys, right? Nope. Like that? Oh, alright. Oh, there we go. Scroll wheel. Found it. I'm surprised that actually... Okay. Did I not? Oh, I messed up. Ignore that. Rocket propellant tanks. Yes, reading is important. for a lower stage, we need an engine that is a sustainer. That's an engine that burns from liftoff until well after the boosters separate. Let's get scientifical for a second. Rocket engine performance is measured by a specific impulse, or ISP, and the ISP of an engine changes at the amount of atmospheric pressure around it changes. Just as the upper stage needs an engine that is good at lower air pressure of high altitudes, the lower stage will need boosters which are powerful at the higher air pressure of the low altitude of the launch pad. And to help carry the rocket through the transition from launch to upper stage, it will need a sustainer engine, which usually sits between the boosters and the upper stage engines from a performance perspective, having a wide range between the two. Okay. So what am I doing? Sustainer engine? I'm lost. So add the big lats thing. You? At its default thrust level, the swivel is too powerful for the rocket we're creating, and for the ascent profile we're going to reach, we're in for the go for orbit tour. So you'll need to lower its thrust levels. This isn't as good as a solution as picking a smaller, lighter engine with the thrust level we want, but, well, there are only so many options. Right hook limiter 65. Thrust limiter 65. Really? Nice. You now have the core of your rocket completed, but as I said before, we're also adding boosters to help the sustainer engine get the rocket up and running. We'll add 2 boosters symmetrically. I almost said systematically. Symmetrically, so that we keep our craft balanced, and to make sure you don't lug the useless dry mass of the boosters around after they burn out, we'll attach them using decouplers. This time, however, we'll use radial decouplers so the boosters can sit beside our lower stage core instead of under it. That way the sustainer and boosters can fire at the same time. And that 2 times symmetry near the bottom, blah 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 blah. Near the bottom of the lowest tank. Like that, or like this. More boosters is something you often hear around the the KSC, and now it's time to add some. Add a pair of hammers. I feel like they're not attaching right. This doesn't feel like they're attaching properly. There it is. I don't like it. Why is this not... It looks dumb. What? This doesn't look like it's attached. It'll give me a ship that's not this, like it'll give me a proper one, but that didn't feel right. Can I? Okay, so it taught me how to do things, right? Let me... want to crash into each other. What am I doing? Alright, unlike liquid fuel engines, where you can adjust the throttle and during flight, once you light an SRB, it burns at constant thrust till it's out of fuel. Is that the... I recognize that music. Is that uncanny Mr. Fantastic meme? Or whatever music they used for it. What the hell? I wonder I've been creeped out. We can, however, use the throttle limiter as we did on the swivel to set the constant thrust before we roll out the launch pad. I'll take a sip later. Right-click on the SRB, changes thrust limiter to 50. Do note the changing a torqueable value on one part that's been placed using symmetry will have the same change applied to the symmetry counterpart. Okay. So 50. Is there... Can I just, like, type in 50? No, of course not. Right now, the RSBs have flat pancake tops, which is simply not a good look. Oh, and bad. Aerodynamically. Let's fix that by adding a pair of nose cones. Nose cones can be found in the aerodynamics category, and you can add them by 2 times symmetry. Aerodynamics. We're on the tab in the toolbox. Let's add some fins too. Fins come in various sizes and styles, and as we learned earlier, will help stabilize your craft. Since these fins are control surfaces, they also add some extra control authority when low in the atmosphere, where the air is thick enough for them to have helpful effect. Add the winglets. 4 times. Near the bottom of the lowest fuel tank in the lowest stage. Make sure they don't interact with the decouplers and the SRBs and they do not overlap those parts. Any flight will be intersected by the... Blah, 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 blah. That doesn't look right. Oh, is that not working? Wait, no promises on the no interacting part. It's starting to look good. Excellent. We've now got all the components on our basic orbital rocket, but let's run through a few extra things before we call it a day. Firstly, we should review the staging stack. Yeah, I probably should do that. That's behind me. To check the order of actions, the parts displayed there. It's lucky I've highlighted these for you because the SRBs are set to fire before the sustainer, and that just won't do. You won't have enough thrust to get off the pad that way. Move the swivel staging icon down into the same stage as the SRBs. Note that automatically creating staging sequence would work if we did not want long burning sustainer to ignite at the same time as the high blah 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 blah. So this goes here. And then at some point decouples. Alright, he'll tell me how to do that, right? Finally pick up pods and what? Finally pick up the pod and rotate 90 degrees around the vertical axis. What pod? The top one? Why would I do that? Hang on. This will rotate the ship, not just the VAB, but also set its orientation when it would go... Oh. I see. So that when I'm using pitch, it's... Okay. Q. Okay, that way I'm not using A and D to steer or whatever I was using. Okay, that's nice. Okay. We always make every effort to ensure our brave crew survive, and hopefully we will take the same stance in our space program. It doesn't always work out that way, of course, but that's a nonchalant way to think about it. But it's the thought that counts. At least to those of us in the rocket at the time. With that in mind, let's set up an orbit action group. Let's set up an orbit action group for your craft and use in case of emergency. Note that in career mode, you'll have to upgrade the VAB or SPH and order access action groups. Click on the turquoise action group button on the left of the toolbar. It's part of cluster of buttons. This? No. This? I gotta reread this. This doesn't seem right. Oh boy. Why did you do this to me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let me just hit space, please. That's all I want to do. I want to hit the space bar. Action groups let you assign the functions of one or more pods to a single specified key. Oh god. These are some default actions. The landing gear automatically go in the gear group, brakes on the wheels, brakes, blah blah, and some custom ones activate in keyboard numbers based on the number of word. Let's set up an action group. Click on the desired action key from the menu, then click on the part you want to activate. The actions already assigned to the group appear in the group actions and the actions that can be assigned. This is going to be such boring content. To add and remove items, you simply click on and remove them left or right between the columns. To clear all action group selections from part, click reset in the action. Warner! Set abort action group. I don't see it. Wait. There. It's triggered pressing backspace or by clicking the big red abort button in flight. Click on the decoupler right below the pod. This? Is that already set? No. Then click on the liquid engine and turn assign or shut down. Each liquid engine in turn. You're gonna have to tell me how to do that, man. I'm gonna do a couple. That? Oh, okay. I think I get it. Nope. I don't see shutdown here. But where's the shutdown? It said add shutdown. I don't see shutdown. Okay, those are liquid. Okay.
How much more till lemon is gone? Because I got a lot from. Yeah,
That one? Oh. God, it's hard to see these. And then I can't even see my oh god, I can't see him now. I can't access the... I can't access the radial decouplers. How do I not? Why is it not in this group? You know, it might just be time to move on to the next tutorial. I can't move these. Ugh. I'll do that. Apparently I didn't even get everything it wanted me to get, so I don't know. At this point, this is a little bit too much. Oh, there it goes. What the hell? I've missed something. It's kind of irritating me now. He said in turn. I don't know if that meant there had to be an order. I feel like I got everything you wanted. I think it's time to move on to the flight. I think this is fine. What else could possibly... other than setting the button for this? Alright, let's just try the orbit. Hello again, Jane. That's basically what I built, right? Okay. Today we will tackle an absolutely essential skill for any space program, getting to orbit. Without the skill, we might as well be teaching you Kerbal Flight Simulator. I trust you've already checked the other flight tutorials. Nope. Oh, the ones before this. Okay, Flight Simulator threw me off. As well as the advanced construction one to be familiar with the Kerbal 1 vessel we will be launching today. If not, I highly recommend you do that before going through this one. Alrighty then, let's do this. As I said before, the plan here is to get our vessel and pilot safely into orbit, and with the suborbital flight we did previously, we will follow a curved path to get to a point where we can circularize. Okay, I was going to say circumvent our orbit. Today's gravity turn, however, will be much shallower than the path we followed previously, so we build speed towards orbit. This is different from how the Kerbal pilots of old did it. They would head straight up and then hang a right as if the air was soup or something, returning early and smoothly, but don't turn too far. You might be mistaken for one of those low-flying turkeys. What are you talking about? As with the previous flight, I will place a target marker on the nav ball to show you the orbital velocity vector, but do note that this indicator won't be around normally and is not usually used the way this tutorial uses it. It also displays the same technical information about your path as you go to help you learn the right way to get there. Throttle up to max, and prepare to launch. Oh, cool. looked down at Valentina here for a second, and I thought his collar with his mouth, and he was freaking me out. I thought he was going... I thought that was his teeth and mouth. That was weird. Alright, we'll go to launch. You didn't really give me a good mission parameter here. Yes, okay. Yep. See the marker on the nav ball, so you'll have something to follow, and this ship has been designed so that you don't need to worry about throttle control during the ascent. Really? Hit space when you're ready to go for orbit. If you want Valentina, the Kerbal pilot, to fly the curve for you, you can enable the SAS and set the mode to target after liftoff. There's a... I can set the mode? Set the mode to target after lift. Okay. 3, 2, 1. So he's gonna fly for me, huh? Or... Oh yeah, he's doing it. Don't worry about flying. You need to pay attention to the target marker and the proper times to stage. I'll prompt you along the way. You got it, Valentina. Almost out of fuel. Get ready to eject. Oh, maybe that wasn't right. That was weird. Almost out of fuel. You've survived through the first phase of the launch, and now you have longer, more gentle burn to accelerate towards... I don't know. Opiopis... whatever. Opis. Upsis. I'm gonna have to look at the pronunciation of that, aren't I? If you switch the map mode, you can take a look at the trajectory of the rocket. Watch the... sure. Hate it. I don't like not being able to see. Trajectory well. We track the future path. If you hover over the... where? Okay. Or, you can right-click on the marker. And it says... Okay. Keep burning along that path until we clear the atmosphere by a handy margin. We'll aim for 80 kilometers. Cut the engine X once the hits 80. Why are we, like, going down? Something's wrong. Oh, I see. Oh. Apoapsis. Apoapsis. Thank you. So, cut the engine soon. Oh. Did he do it for me? He did it for me. Why did he do it for me? And that's going to get us there. I've made sure the engine is shut off now, and we'll coast till we clear the atmosphere at 70-kilometer altitude. You may notice your speed dropping a little as we coast. That's nothing to be concerned about. It's just gravity trying to bring us down and the air trying to prevent our success. We'll beat it, though. We're looking good. Yeah, but he told me to hit X, and then he just kind of did it for me. Meanwhile, I'll keep an altitude display open so you can track your progress ascending to your apoapsis. Okay, so we're just gonna hang out. I don't believe I can fast forward. Yeah, he's gonna make me watch. Oh, hang out then. What are you playing, buddy? Is that the one with the music that's really annoying? Thank you, because it's been driving me nuts all day. Kind of rude that it doesn't let me accelerate time. I did not mean this to take 3 hours. Oh, where are we? Now that we are clear of the atmosphere, you can warp around through time to get the apoapsis more quickly. Now you're gonna let me. Important rocket scientists like us do not have time to waste. So let's waste some time. Whoa. Press next when you're ready and we'll warp till it's time to make our next burn. Look at us go. I think it was, I probably watched Markiplier play this game way back, but I didn't really pay attention to what he was doing. We're almost there. Now all we need to do is accelerate some more so we can fall past Kerbin. That's basically what an orbit is, falling and missing. Gravity will be pulling us towards the center of Kerbin, but we'll be traveling so fast that we constantly miss. Rotate your craft to align with your prograde marker. We'll learn about that later. Or use SAS maneuver mode. It's time to throttle up. I should probably do that before I miss. Whoa, where are you going? Oh. Now throttle up. Okay, your engines once you've completed the burn. I've calculated for you, or you can... Whoa. Or you can yourself once you're in a stable orbit. Now you can do it. But he said he'd do it for me. I know I'm going way out, but he said he would do it. You're now officially in orbit. That's quite the achievement. Hopefully you can use the difference between the suborbital hop and this reaching orbit ascent and just how far and early we turned. Also notice how we designed our rocket to accelerate reasonably through the ascent and you didn't go straight to ludicrous speed. Overpowering the ship is common rookie mistake. He glitched, huh? Really? That's unfortunate. I almost, okay. Huh. It's dark out here. Oh, that's pretty. That's as far as I'll be taking you today. We can catch up again in Orbit 101 tutorial, where I'll show you about orbits and adjusting them. If you want to fly solo for a bit, you can also try bringing Valentina home from the tutorial flight. This will need turn around 180 degrees and burn retrograde until your parapet. Yeah, parapet. Don't. Parapesis is less than 20 kilometers, at which height the atmosphere will do most of the braking for you. Stage away the upper stage when you hit the atmosphere edge. Orient the retrograde and re-enter like I taught you in the flight basics tutorial. Is that worth trying? Periapsis. Periapsis. Thank you. Maybe I should try that. Kind of wish I could see. Alright. Turn to retrograde. Okay. Let's try the burn. Whoa. Am I at 20? I didn't. Happened. It's not 20 yet. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He glitched. I used up all my fuel. So I'm stuck in orbit now, I think. That's a problem. You're not coming home, buddy. I mean, I tried. There's no engines left, right? I think that's it for me tonight. I have to put the kids to bed. And hell, this is an accomplishment. It's better than what I was doing earlier and like just hitting buttons. But hey, thanks for joining. That was a big help. I appreciate it. I learned something today. I think next time I play, I'm going to be playing around with the science stuff. Try to replicate what I learned here without hand-holding. Which should be funny. But anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. That's it. See ya.